From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.
Good day. This is Dateline Malacañang. Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Monday graced the inaugural Philippine Strategic Trade Management or STM Summit 2024 at the Bonifacio Global City or BGC in Taguig City. The summit convenes senior-level government officials from different strategic trade agencies across the globe to discuss the latest trends, issues, and challenges surrounding STM. It covers all aspects of counter-proliferation and serves as a platform for exchanging perspectives and best practices on promoting informed compliance and enforcing STM laws. Nations participating in the event include member states from the Association of Southeast Asian Nations or ASEAN, the European Union or EU, as well as representatives from the United Nations or UN and other countries from Africa and the Pacific Islands. Joining the President in the roster of notable guests as the summit officially opens are Department of Trade and Industry or DTI Acting Secretary Maria Cristina Aldeguer Roque, DTI Undersecretary Alan Gepti, United States of America or USA Undersecretary of State for Arms Control and International Security Ambassador Bonnie Jenkins, U.S. Ambassador to the Philippines Mary Kay Carlson, and Mr. Louis Pertl as head of summit. Let us listen to the speech of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during the event.
Thank you to the Foreign Affairs Secretary Ricky Manalo, the United States Ambassador to the Philippines, Her Excellency Mary Kay Carlson, and the esteemed members of the Diplomatic Corps here with us today, Trade and Industry Acting Secretary Maria Cristina Aldeguer Roque, and the other members of the Cabinet that are present, Undersecretary of State for Arms Control and International Security Ambassador Bonnie Jenkins, and other officials from the U.S. government, fellow workers in government, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. For the first time, the Philippines has the honor of hosting the significant forum, the Philippine Strategic Trade Management Summit. It is for us a remarkable milestone, not only for our country, but also for the rest of the region. The Department of Trade and Industry, particularly its Strategic Trade Management Office, and our allies from the National Security Council, Strategic Trade Management Committee, and the Departments of State and Energy of the United States have led the way towards making this event possible. In the past 3 years, Southeast Asia has been hosting global discussions on export control of strategic goods, such as those used for military purposes or the production of weapons of mass destruction. This time, the STM Summit brings together not only our ASEAN neighbors, but also partners from different parts of the world, from the United States to Japan, from Europe to Africa. This demonstrates our faith in the power of collaboration to improve and secure our global supply chains, as well as to open our doors for trade to flourish, for wealth to grow, and for people to prosper. The world is growing more complex, with emerging technologies both in civilian and military fields, posing challenges in trade management. The rapid pace of advancement demands us to be more agile, more responsible, and it requires us to address both the speed and dual-use nature of these new technologies. This summit is not merely about managing trade. It is also about mitigating risks, promoting stability and confidence in our regulatory regimes, and ensuring that the tools of our progress do not become weapons of our destruction. During my term in the Senate, I supported the Strategic Trade Management Act because it was my belief, and it continues to be my belief, that strategic trade management is more than just a bureaucratic exercise. It is about upholding the rule of law, protecting our people, and contributing to global peace and security. The Philippines' improved ranking in the latest Peddling Peril Index provides that we are on the right track in strategic trade management. However, there is much work left to be done. As the first Asian republic, the Philippines has always stood for principles over power. We were among the original framers of the United Nations Charter, and our commitment to peace and stability has been unwavering. Today, as we pursue a non-permanent seat on the UN Security Council for 2027 to 2028, we are doubling down on that same commitment. 2 decades ago, when we last served in the UN Security Council, we championed a framework to address the gap in the role of non-state actors in the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. That fight continues today, and this is where the strategic trade management comes in. As a crucial tool in our endeavor to uphold global peace and security, STM allows us to regulate dual-use goods and technologies to prevent their misuse while encouraging lawful trade that benefits us all. Given the rapid pace of technological advancement, our regulation strategy should be dynamic, adaptable, forward-thinking. We must also work together to create a system that is not only robust, but is versatile, equitable, and also resilient. By leveraging our collective strengths, we can advance regional initiatives that ensure supply chain security, counter the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction and insurgency, and create an environment where trade can thrive. This will be key to harnessing our collective economic prowess and sustaining our region as an epicenter of growth in this century. The Philippines, for its part, has already launched a strategic investment plan focused on developing key industries, empowering us to position ourselves better in the global market. We have developed policies that require individuals and entities engaging in STMA-covered activities to register and to receive authorization to deliver their services. We have also implemented programs to educate not only the border control and import-export officers in fulfilling their responsibilities, but also stakeholders to properly comply with our rules and our regulations. We are conducting post-authorization audits, compliance checks, and compliance consultations through monitoring and inspection activities. But the work does not end there. We will continue to upgrade industry standards, modernize regulations, and further establish linkages through various trade and investment frameworks such as the ASEAN, Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, Regional Cooperation Economic Partnership, the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework for Prosperity. All these so that we can see a more competitive region in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, one country cannot do this alone. Each of us, no matter the race, the color, or belief, has a clear stake in building a more secure and prosperous world. Let this occasion be a reminder to renew important conversations and to reinforce our commitment to creating what we refer to as Bagong Pilipinas, that is not only safe and secure, but filled with promising opportunities for all. I thank you all for your participation, and I look forward to the important outputs that this conference will bring.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Philippine National Police or PNP confirmed Sunday evening that it has gained custody of Apollo Quiboloy and his 4 aides after their surrender in Davao City. PNP spokesperson Colonel Jean Fajardo said the negotiation for their surrender started around 1:30 in the afternoon when they were issued a 24-hour ultimatum to come out of one of the buildings inside the 30-hectare Kingdom of Jesus Christ or KOJC compound in Buhangin District, or the police will make their move. They surrendered at around 5:30 in the afternoon and flew them out of Davao City using a C-130 military aircraft at 6:30 in the evening. The aircraft landed at Villamor Air Base in Pasay City at 8:30 in the evening. Fajardo said upon arrival, the PNP accompanied them at Camp Crame in Quezon City, arriving at around 9:10 in the evening, after which the booking procedures started, including physical and medical examinations. The PNP spokesperson said they are in good condition except for the elevated blood pressure of some. Quiboloy and his aides will be in the same compound as former Banban Tarlac Mayor Alice Guo, a suspected Philippine offshore gaming operator or POGO cohort who was detained early Friday after her arrest in Indonesia. Meanwhile, Quiboloy and his 4 aides are scheduled to face Pasig and Quezon City courts on Monday. These are for the cases of child abuse and sexual abuse that was transferred to the Quezon City Regional Trial Court or RTC from Davao City, while Quiboloy also has a pending case on qualified human trafficking at the Pasig RTC. Among those arrested with Quiboloy inside the KOJC compound in Davao City are Jacqueline Roy, Ingrid Canada, Crescente Canada, and Sylvia Simanes.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Department of the Interior and Local Government or DILG over the weekend said that the governments of the Philippines and Indonesia will institutionalize cooperation between their police forces. DILG Secretary Benjamin Abalos Jr. said an exchange of information between the two Southeast Asian neighbors is in the works following the capture of Alice Guo, the dismissed Banban Tarlac mayor who was caught in Indonesia on September 3rd and eventually sent home 3 days later. In a news forum in Quezon City, Department of Justice or DOJ Assistant Secretary and spokesperson Miko Clavano said the results of the investigation on government officials involved in the escape of Guo, her alleged siblings Sheila and Wesley, and supposed accomplice Cassandra Ong may be released within the month. Clavano said the DOJ is likewise looking into the involvement of private individuals. Sheila Guo and Ong are also captured in Indonesia and returned to the Philippines on August 22nd. Sheila Guo is under Senate custody, Ong is with the House of Representatives, and Alice Guo is detained in Camp Crame, Quezon City by virtue of an arrest warrant for graft issued by a Tarlac lower court. Abalos said Indonesia has similar troubles dealing with lawbreakers due to its vast territorial waters. Clavano said the country will use all possible means to protect the country's porous borders against illegal activities and ensure the safety of Filipinos. Following Guo's capture, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Friday said he expects the disgraced ex-official to disclose how Philippine offshore gaming operators or POGOs became a large criminal enterprise and how she accumulated her wealth. Abalos likewise said illegal drugs and smuggling are common problems in the Philippines and Indonesia.
Dateline Malacañang.
Department of Budget and Management or DBM Secretary Amena Pangandaman over the weekend assured that there will be no reduction in the number of members of the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation or PhilHealth. Pangandaman issued the statement following the claim of the Medical Action Group that the DBM unilaterally removed the PhilHealth coverage of 30 million individuals, including Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino Program or 4P beneficiaries, senior citizens, persons with disabilities, and their dependents. In a social media post, Pangandaman said that under the Universal Healthcare Act, all Filipinos are entitled to health insurance, whether as direct or indirect contributors to PhilHealth. The government subsidizes premiums for those who can't afford them, ensuring even the most vulnerable are covered. The DBM secretary added that claims that millions will lose their coverage are simply false, as PhilHealth is committed to fulfilling its obligations backed by substantial funds. Pangandaman said the DBM's role is to faithfully implement the national budget, adding that it is committed to upholding transparency and open communication to keep everyone informed and supported. She reminded the medical group to be thoughtful and responsible in what it shares on social media. On Thursday, the group said the DBM has no power to remove membership in PhilHealth. The DBM responded to the group's statement the following day, saying the law mandates the health insurance coverage of all Filipinos. It added that the national government not only provides premium subsidies for indirect contributors, but also grants subsidies to those who are financially incapable of paying for health insurance premiums through the provision of subsidies for point-of-service patients. The DBM said it is consulting with its legal team for possible filing of legal actions against the medical group for purveying malicious and misleading information to the public.
Dateline Malacañang.
In other news, the Philippines Commission on Elections or COMELEC is expecting at least 500,000 aspirants during the 2025 midterm elections and Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao or BARM parliamentary polls. COMELEC Chair George Garcia on Sunday said that over 18,000 national and local posts will be up for grabs during the twin elections on May 12th. Garcia said with 18,271 positions to be filled up, easily there could be 500,000 aspirants in the 2025 national and local elections and Bangsamoro parliamentary elections. For national positions to be contested are 12 senatorial seats, 63 for party lists, and 254 for congressional district representatives. As for the local offices, 82 seats will be available each for governors and vice governors and 792 for provincial board members. For city positions, there will be 149 seats each for mayors and vice mayors and 1,682 seats for councilors. At the municipal level, The available positions are 1,493 seats each for mayors and vice mayors, and 11,948 seats for councilors. For the BARM polls, 80 seats will be available in the parliament, comprised of 40 party representatives, 32 district representatives, and 8 sectoral representatives. The filing of certificates of candidacy or COCs will be on the 1st to the 8th of October. Meanwhile, COMELEC set the deadline to request for a transfer of venue for the filing of COC on September 20th.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Philippines Department of Migrant Workers or DMW cautioned the public against illegal recruiters that scattered social media and other online platforms. In an advisory, the DMW said a recruitment agency needs to be verified by their agency if they have a certified license. With this, the job offered is legitimate and the promise of work abroad is real. The DMW said the public may check if the job orders from the host country is approved by their agency. The DMW also appealed to the public to report to the Migrant Workers Protection Bureau any doubtful job recruitment in their area or fake overseas job postings on social media.
Dateline Malacañang.
And finally, Quezon City Mayor Joy Belmonte over the weekend confirmed 2 new cases of monkeypox or mpox have been recorded in the city. According to the mayor, a 29 and 36-year-old male tested positive for mpox. Both patients are currently under home isolation and medical attention. In a report by the Quezon City Epidemiology and Surveillance Division, the 29-year-old patient showed symptoms of mpox on August 21st and tested positive on August 30th after an examination. Meanwhile, the 36-year-old patient experienced fever on August 26th and tested positive on September 5th. The local government unit or LGU is currently undergoing contact tracing to those that the 2 patients have mingled with. Mayor Belmonte assured that the local government will not abandon and is ready to help the patients for their quick recovery. The mayor advised the public to be careful not to contract the virus as the effects of mpox is severe, especially to those with weak immune systems.
Dateline Malacañang.
Before we conclude our program, Radyo Pilipinas World Service of the Presidential Broadcast Service is heard over the following shortwave frequencies: 15.640 MHz, 17.820 MHz, and 12.010 MHz. You can also visit our Facebook page and YouTube channel at Radyo Pilipinas World Service. You will be able to hear and view our Filipino and English programs, including news updates here in the Philippines. Kindly subscribe, like, and share our post as well. And that concludes this edition of Dateline Malacañang. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day and stay safe.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.